Hello everyone, Cherries Army. Don't take a rest. It's a quick turnaround in the Championship as Afc Bournemouth prepare to take on QPR back at home, Vitality Stadium under the lights in match day 7. In this match preview, we'll take a look at this fixture, the numbers, and we'll get an opposition perspective as well. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, give this video a like and hit the notification bell. Let's get on with the preview. So fourth take on fifth then in the Championship on Tuesday night at the Vitality Stadium. But at the weekend, Bournemouth got back to winning ways with a 3-0 comfortable victory versus Barnsley. Yes, we made hard work of it at times, but scoring that second goal so early on in the second half settled us down, went on to win 3-0. Got some debutants on the pitch, lots of good performances throughout the team, starting from the back. Cahill, Smith came back in. Jordan Samora at the double, what a performance he put in. Lerma all over the pitch, Pearson clearing up, Billing played his part as well. And then we had the likes of Brooks and Anthony linking up lovely with Samora, and Dom Solanke got back on the score sheet. Probably should have got 2, but he did score a goal. QPR, they snatched a late equaliser at Medeski, 3-3. That sounds like a belter, and even Andre Gray got on the score sheet as well. And on this preview, a warm welcome to Clive from LoftforWords. How you doing, Clive?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. And just tell the viewers a bit about what you do for your club, QPR, and what preview content you may have for this fixture.
LoftforWords has been going for about 20 years. It's basically sort of uber long form, waffly written articles for people that still like that. So, age demographic of the audience is probably 80 plus or something like that. And yeah, there'll be some long waffly match preview that goes up at some point tomorrow, including there's a Bournemouth interview with yourself, history of the fixtures and stuff like that will be up tomorrow when I can be bothered to do it.
And that will have Steve Hensman, a Cherries Red Army contributor, who's taken part in that then. So, Clive, let's get on with the preview. QPR start the season unbeaten. I mean, what was your expectations at the start of the season? You're currently 4th and unbeaten.
I think I had us 5th in our pre-season preview, which is ridiculously optimistic for, me and QPR in general. It's been obviously a very tough few years, recovering from our excesses in the Premier League when we were everything that's wrong with football. It's taken us a long time to get wage bill down and start functioning as something like a proper sustainable football club. But having gone through that period over the last 5 or 6 years, we've come out of it at a time when a lot of other Championship clubs that have overspent and tried to get to Premier League and failed seem to be in a bit of a mess. So if you look at places like Derby, Reading, Blackburn, Sheff Wednesday, a few years ago, they were all spending massive money when we couldn't, and it hasn't gone well for them. But meantime, we've been cleaning house, and now we're in a good position to push on. So I do fancy us for the top 6 if we can keep everyone fit. It's quite a slim squad. We are unbeaten, as you say. Most of the games we've been in could have gone either way. Only really Hull away was our one-sided victory, and even then we had a sort of terrifying 10 minutes in that. Very much like yesterday's game at Reading. Like, when we're good, and when we're bad, we're bad.
And let's touch on Reading then. That was a 3-3 draw. Had a look at that fixture, obviously, and Clive, it looks like a late equaliser, and Andre Gray got involved as well.
Yeah, Andre Gray, I'm pleased he scored because obviously he's had a really bad time at Watford, and there was some eyebrows went up at that signing on deadline day. So for him to get that monkey off his back straight away was good. Started the game well, took the lead, which we haven't been doing in games this year. We were poor sort of first half against Millwall, first half against Barnsley, first 20 minutes at Middlesbrough. So slow starts have been a problem. And then yesterday it was the opposite. We started really well and took the lead, only to then sort of fall in a hole. To be fair, John Swift is one of those weird little players with us that he just turns into Romario or Stoichkov or something whenever we play him. We've never coped well with him, and he's ended up getting a hat-trick from midfield. But then, the spirit, and it keeps going, this QPR team. I think we've already recovered 5 or 6 points from losing positions this year. Nobody in the Championships recovered more points from losing positions since Warburton took over at QPR. I think that's the 4th time under him that we've been 2 goals behind and still got something out of the game. So it keeps going. It keeps going, the team. It's good to watch. Plays a good brand of football. Just a little bit leaky at the back at the minute.
It's interesting you say you're looking for like a regroup. I mean, Bournemouth are in a second-year parachute payment stage, and we've offloaded some big players for big money and brought in some players of 36, but lots of experience, but haven't actually spent a lot. But when you look at this fixture, you think that there must be goals in this game. I mean, we scored 3 against Barnsley at the weekend. You scored 3. You seem to score most weeks. You've now got Charlie Austin permanently. Andre Gray's on there as well. Or is it one of those games that's going to deceive us and then 0-0?
I think Scott Parker was really sort of stayed, wasn't he, at Fulham? The Fulham fans wanted him to be more aggressive and attacking. I think even Scott Parker would do well to drill a 0-0 out of this game. And now I've said that, that's probably what it's going to end up being, right? I think QPR have scored 19 consecutive games now, which is our best run since 2004 or something like that. So we do tend to score. Hopefully Lyndon Dykes will be back in the week because he's been in great form. Missed out yesterday. Charlie Austin's actually not been playing that well this season. He doesn't really seem to suit him playing as the one up front in our 4-2-3-1 that we tend to use, or the wing-back system. It's him as a lone striker doesn't really seem to suit him. But like you say, Gray scored yesterday, and then just behind him, that's where the threat comes from, really. Chair and Willock. They're just such a lovely little combination behind the main striker. That's basically our main threat.
Interestingly as well, when you look at the matchups and what will Scott Parker do, completely different game to the Barnsley one, but both teams seem to dominate a lot of possession. If you look at the averages of both teams in the first 6 games, I think QPR have something like 56% possession. You had over 500 passes at the weekend. We're something like in the 60% marker as I look at my notes, and we had about 550 passes at the weekend. I mean, are you going to want to get on the ball, or are you happy for us to maybe have the ball and counter?
I'd be surprised if we did that. Warburton likes the ball, likes his team to attack, and I wouldn't say isn't bothered, but is willing to accept some of the problems that creates you going the other way. The bit where we get exposed is we attack with our wing-backs quite high up, and there's a lot of space either in front of them or behind them, depending on how you want to do it. So I would think, if I was Bournemouth, that's where most of the teams we play try and get in at us, down the side of the back 3, in behind the wing backs when they're pushed up. I'm interested that you guys took Barnsley apart yesterday, because we got absolutely annihilated by Barnsley in the first half of our game there. We were 2-0 down. We had to make 2 subs after half an hour just to stop it being 3 or 4-0 at half time. And then weirdly, their manager basically decided to put the queue on the rack for the last half an hour and try and time waste the game away at 2-0. Whereas if they just kept going the way they were, they would have buried us that day. So, you're going to ask me for a score prediction in a minute, and it's a brave man to call this game on Tuesday, because I just, like you say, there's the way the teams have started, and that Barnsley thing just makes me wonder what on earth's in store for us on Tuesday, basically.
It makes the Championship so interesting, because I must admit, it took us a while to put Barnsley to bed. It took to the second half. We should have been about 3-0 up at half time, but we weren't. But once we scored the second early on, they were done. They didn't actually register a shot on target throughout the whole game, but that's the Championship, isn't it? Let's get a score prediction from you then. As I said, there should be goals in this game. I think you've scored something like 14 goals this season. I think we're on 11. But what is your score prediction for this fixture?
I think we're top scorers in the league now. I haven't checked that, but I think another 3 yesterday. I think we're top scorers in the league. I'll go high scoring draw again, 2-2, something like that. Although this run, like I say, we've scored in 18 consecutive games, so it's gonna stop. It's got to stop at some point. So maybe it'll be this game, like one game too many. We're unbeaten. I don't think we've lost a game at all for about 130 days, well into the back end of last season. I think only Man City have won more games than QPR this year. we don't lose very often at the moment, fingers crossed. We're on a run of 5 consecutive away wins until Saturday. So we're tough, we keep going, good to watch, attractive team. So hopefully a good game. I'll go high scoring draw. My predictions are always wrong, by the way. So
I'll be at the Vitality Tuesday night, really looking towards this fixture. And we did a tier list at the start of the season, Clive, and we did put QPR in the playoffs because of the transfer window. We thought we had a pretty good transfer window. We just did an adjusted tier list. We just had reviewed that and see if we're right or wrong at this stage. And we've kept QPR in the playoff places. Now, I'm sure you'd take that. Are we being realistic as Bournemouth fans, not really knowing QPR inside out?
I mean, I'm usually really pessimistic about QPR, but as long as they keep everybody fit, as much as you can, it's a small squad, so that could be the thing that comes back to bite us. But I'm pretty confident, both because we've done good business and we've been building for a while, and also I think the state of the rest of the division is not great. Fulham obviously look a good team, and West Brom I've been a bit surprised by, to be honest, because I wasn't sure how that Barnsley murder ball style that their manager likes would mesh with an older squad, but they seem to be good. Obviously, good news for teams pushing for promotion that Sheffield United, although they did batter Peterborough yesterday, it seems Sheffield United aren't going to be the big force that we thought. So there's places up for grabs, right? And a lot of the division is in a right mess. There's a lot of clubs messy out there. I wouldn't have thought that Stoke were that good, but they're 3rd or 4th at the minute. So it's a good year. It's a good opportunity for us this year. Kept hold of our best players in the summer, and obviously if we don't go up, I think we'll have to sell 1 or 2 of those next summer, like we did with Eze, just to keep things ticking over. But we've got a good squad and we've got a good chance, I think.
I would agree with you. When I looked at the Championship this season, I didn't think there was anyone really standing out that was going to, dominate, not like last year with Norwich, but it is definitely open. Now, Clive, LoftforWords, I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but all your details will be in the description. So if you want to check out their preview, please do check it out. And the details are in there where you can find Clive's details and all the socials as well. Clive, thanks for coming on the show and giving us your opposition preview in this fixture, and good luck for the game. Hopefully, we hope the Cherries win, but we hope you enjoy it.
No worries. Looking forward to coming down.
Thank you to Clive there for his input, and I think he might be at the game. It'll be interesting to see what following QPR bring down for this fixture. But who will Scott Parker pick for this game? It's going to be an interesting time for Scott Parker. A lot of players that could play, but he can only pick 11, and there will be players that miss out week on week at the moment. But it's a team game and a 46-game season. But my predicted 11 for this fixture is Mark Travers to keep his place in goal with a clean sheet, and I would actually keep the back 4 as well. Even though it was only 3 days ago, it was a steady back 4, and with Cahill orchestrating vocally, very, very good and did nothing wrong. I would go with Kelly and Cahill in the middle with Smith and Samura either side. In the 3 in the middle then, I'd also keep them the same, I would keep Pearson as the main pivot, with Lerma playing off Pearson and a bit higher up, and Billing doing what Billing does best, free floating and getting the further attacking players involved. This is where it does change for me. I would keep Anthony on the left because I think he links up very well with Samura, and that's a positive outcome. But I would change Christie for Brooks in this game. Nothing really on Brooks for taking him out, but I think it is a position where you could play Christie and Brooks and man manage that. And Dom Solanke obviously keeps his place up top, also looking to score again in this fixture. What is your predicted 11? Both teams then in the playoff, both have 12 points, both have 3 wins and 3 draws. The head-to-heads in the last 6 between the teams are slightly in favour of QPR. 3 wins with Bournemouth, 2 wins and a draw. But we haven't lost to QPR at Dean Court for 20 years. This game surely has goals in it. It has to have goals in it, especially with the attacking players that both teams have and the strikers that definitely have records. I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to say that we're going to remain unbeaten and that QPR's unbeaten run will end on Tuesday. I'm going for an AFC Bournemouth 2, QPR won. We want to know what your score prediction is. We want to know your thoughts ahead of this fixture and your lineups. Also, let us know what you think of this preview. Really appreciate you checking out the preview. Make sure you subscribe, give the video a like, it really does help, and hit the notification bell. Until the next video, see you soon. Up the cherries.